Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. This is your Akazaki Yahoo, and I start this broadcast that I will start any broadcast by first of all giving all praise, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah. By Hashem Yah StreamYard. StreamYard. Technical difficulties. Salakia.
Con, I'm still here.
Okay, Khan. Yeah, I was looking at the screen here and I saw right when it went off. Uh, I forgot where I was at. StreamYard technical difficulties. To the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth, we say Shalom Wabarukim, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day that the 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High power, under one covenant. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I'm joined this afternoon by my most esteemed Ak Kenaniah. Shabbat Shalom, Aki.
Hey, Shabbaton, Shabbaton Yasharal. Hallelujah. For yet
Hallelujah.
another set apart yom.
Hallelujah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Shabbaton. Praises. Hallelujah. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get straight to it. Yesterday, we finished up the book, first book of Chronicles, uh, Dibre Hayamim
Hayamim.
Hayamim Aleph. We finished the first book, the Aleph book. And this today, we get into the Beit book, the second book of Dibre Hayamim, or more commonly known as the Book of Chronicles, the second Book of Chronicles. So, all right, let's go ahead and get straight to it. Hopefully, the technical difficulties have subsided and things are now normal. So, let's go ahead. All right, this is Dibre Hayamim uh, Bête, chapter number 1 and verse number 1. Solomon worships at Gibeon. All right. So we saw the ending. Yesterday we saw the ending of King David's reign, and him actually handing it over to King Solomon, as well as David going to sleep with his fathers. So verse 1 in book 2. And Solomon, the son of David, was strengthened in his kingdom, and Yahuwah his power was with him, and he magnified him exceedingly. And Solomon spake unto all of Israel, to the captains of thousands and of hundreds, and to the judges, and to every governor in all of Israel, and to the chief of the fathers. So Solomon and all the congregation with him went to the high places, to the high place that was at Gibeon, and there was a tabernacle of of the congregation of the Most High, which Moshe, the servant of the Most High, had made in the wilderness. But the ark of the Most High had David brought up from uh, Kiryath
Kiryath Yarim.
Yarim, to the place in which Dawid had prepared for it, for he had pitched a tent for it at Jerusalem. Moreover, the brazen altar that Bezaleel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, had made, he put before the tabernacle of Yahuwah. And Solomon and the congregation sought unto it. And Solomon went up thither to the brazen altar before Yahuwah, which was at the tabernacle of the congregation, and offered 1,000 burnt offerings upon it. And the night did the Most High appear unto Solomon, and said unto him, As what, uh, as what I shall give you. Solomon's prayer for wisdom. Verse number 8. And Solomon said unto the Most High, You have shown great mercy unto Dawid my father, and have made haste, Salaki, and have hastened made me to reign in his stead. Now, O Yahuwah power, let your praise, Salaki, let your promise unto Dawid my father be established, for you have made me king over a people like the dust of the earth for multitude. Give me now wisdom and knowledge, that I may go out and come in before this people. For who can judge this your people that is so great? And the Most High said to Solomon, Because this was in your heart, and you have not asked riches, wealth, or honor, nor the life of your enemies, neither yet have neither yet asked long life, but have asked wisdom and knowledge for yourself, that you may judge my people, over whom I have made you king. Wisdom and knowledge is granted unto you, and I will give you riches and wealth, honor, so as none of the kings that were that have been before you, neither shall any after you have the like. And Solomon came from his journey to the high place that was at Gibeon to Jerusalem, from before the tabernacle of the congregation, and reigned over Israel. Man, that is a barakah. That is beautiful. You know, the fact that
Indeed.
he went in and basically like just make me able to be the servant that your people need. Basically, is what he was asking for, wisdom and knowledge, and uh, and he certainly, the representative that he was speaking to certainly gave him a great barakah, uh, by not only giving him what he asked for, but also gave him the things that he didn't ask. And that
Mm-hmm.
just goes to show how the Most High, judges, because that was what was in him to do that. And I don't know. I know. I'm trying to think of what book it is where it says knowledge puff up.
Ah,
I can't recall it.
that's Proverbs, isn't it?
It's the Proverbs. That's Solomon's writing.
Okay, con.
Let me see if I can find it. Oh, actually, it's Corinthians. Slacky.
Okay.
That's Corinthians.
Shaul.
So Shaul was writing that. Yeah, con. So, all right. Well, let's continue. Uh, Solomon's wealth, verse 14, still in chapter one of. Oh, I didn't even bring up the Slacky. Slacky. Let me grab that real quick. I didn't bring up the scriptures translation.
Mm-hmm.
Let me grab that real quick here. As quick as this thing will move, moving on slow. All right, here we go. Yeah, cover Israel. I'll throw that in while we wait for this thing to load up.
Here, con.
Yeah, cover Israel.
Yeah,
I don't know what is.
that was definitely a blessed Sabbath last week.
Oh yes, indeed. That's why we went. We should have been in. Well, we making it up for it, but yeah, it was a good time for y'all who didn't catch it. We went to Cincinnati and was at Israel Now, and Ak Joseph was guest speaker, and they had the praise and worship and the food and all that good stuff. We had a great time with Miss Makai up in Cincinnati, Israel Now. So Shout out to those brothers and the co-team, the Akeem and the co-team of that assembly for having us and being most gracious and courteous host for us to come through and just break bread on a Sabbath day, on a Sabbath yom. So all praises to the Most High. All right, verse 14. And Solomon gathered chariots and horsemen and had thousands and had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen, which he had placed in the chariot he had placed in the chariot cities, and with the king of Jerusalem, and with the king at Jerusalem, Salakia. Man, I be messing up these words sometimes, chopping them up here. Verse 15. And the king made silver and gold at Jerusalem as precious as plenteous, Salakia. Oh, I don't know why I be doing these words like this. Let me start that over. And the king made silver and gold at Jerusalem as plenteous as stones, and cedar trees made he as syc- sycam- sycamore trees that are in the vow for abundance. That are in the vow for abundance. So apparently, sycamore is a very plenteous tree, but he brought cedar in. Cedar is that high end wood.
Hmm.
That that high end. It costs great in the stores. If you're looking at
And
something,
and probably wouldn't have been in abundance in this area. You know what
no,
I mean? So it would have been more expensive as well.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, because the Most High just told him that he was going to give him riches and wealth. He told him riches and wealth. I mean, that's not even two of the same thing. That's two separate things. So, matter of fact, we're gonna go back and look at that. Uh, verse 16. Let me finish out this chapter here. And Solomon had horses brought out of Mizraim and linen yarn, and the king's merchants received the linen yarn at a price, and they fetched up and brought forth out of Mizraim the chariots of 600 shekels of silver for the horse, Slakia, and 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 horse of 150, and so brought they out horses for all the kings of the Hittites and the kings of Syria by their means. Let's slow this thing down a little bit. Maybe I quit messing up so bad. But let's look at that real quick. Uh, wealth and riches. Let's take a look at that real quick and see what these words are. Uh, we kind of put them together, but we can see they're completely two different words.
Indeed.
Riches are 6 2 30 3 9. Let's see what that Hebrew word is. Oh,
For
sheer.
sure.
Sure. Oh, sure. Uh, wealth and riches. That's the term right there. So let's see what wealth is.
Nekes.
The kiss. The kiss. Riches and treasures. So it's similar, but not exactly similar.
Hmm.
So interesting. Okay. I was just curious about that. Let's go ahead to chapter 2 here. All right. Solomon will build a temple and palace. And Solomon determined to build an house for the name of Yahuwah and a house for his kingdom. And Solomon told out 310,000 men for bear bearing to bear burdens. Salakia. Salakia. Let me start that over. And Solomon told out 310,000 men to bear burdens, and 80,000 to hew in the mountain, and 3 1,600 to oversee them. And Solomon sent to to Huram, the king of Tyre, asking, saying, "As you did, as you didst deal with Dawid my father, and didst send him cedar to build him an house to dwell therein, even so deal with me. Behold, I build an house to the name of Yahuwah, my power, to dedicate it to him, and to burn before him sweet incense for a continuous for the continual showbread, and for the burnt offerings, morning and evening, on the Sabbaths, and on the new moons, and on the solemn feast of Yahuwah our power. This is an ordinance forever to Israel. And the house which I built is great, for great is our power above all idols. But who is able to build him a house, seeing the Shamaim and Shamaim of Shamaims cannot contain him? Who am I then that I should build him an house, save only to burn sacrifices before him? Send me now, therefore, a man of cunning to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass, and in iron, and in purple, and crimson, and blue, and that can skill to grave with the cunning men that are in that are with me in Judea, Slakia, in Yehuda, and in Jerusalem, whom Dawid my father did provide. Verse 8, send me also cedar trees, fir trees, and algum trees out of Lebanon, for I know that that your servants can skill, Salakia, for I know that your servants can skill to cut timber in Lebanon. And behold, my servants shall be with your servants, even to prepare me timber in abundance. For the house which I am about to build shall be wonderful, great. And behold, I will give to your servants, the hewers that cut timber, 20,000 measures of beaten wheat, and 20,000 measures of barley, and 20,000 measures, Salakia, and 20,000 baths of wine, and 20,000 baths of oil. Huram to assist. Verse 11. Then Huram, the king of Tyre, answered in writing, which had sent to which he had sent to Solomon, because Yahuwah had loved his people, he had made you king over them. Huram said, moreover, blessed be Yahuwah, power of Israel, that made Shamaim and earth, who have given to Dawid the king a wise son, enduring with prudence and understanding, that might build an house for Yahuwah, and an house for his kingdom. And now I have sent a cunning man, enduring with endured with understanding, of Huram my father, the son of a woman of a daughter of Dan, and his father was a man of Tyre, skillful in works of gold, and in silver, in brass, in iron, in stone, and in timber. in purple, in blue, and in fine linen, and in crimson, also to grave any manner of graving, and to find out every device which shall be put to him with your cunning men, and with the cunning men of my master, Dawid your father. Now, therefore, the wheat and the barley, the oil and the wine, in which my master hath spoken of, let him send it unto his servants, and we will cut wood out of Lebanon, as much as you shall need, and we shall bring it to you on floats by sea to Joppa, and you shall carry it up to Jerusalem. And Solomon numbered all the strangers that were in the land of Israel, after the number wherewith Dawid his father had numbered them, and they were found 105,000, Slaki, 150,000, 3,600. That's a lot of doggone strangers.
Mm.
That's a whole lot. That's like a whole. Uh, that's bigger than Little Rock. Verse 18. And he set 310,000 of them to be bearers of burdens, and fourscore thousands to be hewers of in the mountains, and 3,600 overseers to seek the people, to set the people a work. Salaki. Man, at least we're not having any interruptions right now. So all praises to the Father for that.
Oh, praises.
Hallelujah. So what we're reading basically is the putting together of the beginning of the temple. So getting the work going. They haven't actually started yet, but he's getting the process spinning. So now we move to chapter number 3, and the temple constructed in Jerusalem. So again, we've read this previously in the first book of Kings, which it references right here in at the text. Some of the same information, basically. But the the book of uh,
Dibre Hayamim Bête.
Beit, Dibre Hayamim Beit. I'll pull it over here so I can we can see it on the page, because all they show here is Chronicles. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, when we go to the Scriptures version, we get the actual name. So, all right, verse 1. Then Solomon began to build the house of Yahuwah at Jerusalem and Mount Morish, or is that Morish? Or is that
Moriah.
Moriah, Slakia, Mount Moriah, Slakia, where Yahuwah appeared unto Dawid his father, in the place that Dawid had prepared in the threshing floor of Onan the Jebusite. And he began to build in the second day of the second month, in the 14th year of his reign. 14. Oh, that's 40th. Fourth? No, that's fourth. Slakia.
Yeah, kind of forth.
My, my goodness. I done said 14th, 40th, and everything, but I'm tripping. Salakia, forgive me. I don't know what's wrong with my eyes and my mouth not working together this evening. But let's continue. Dimensions and materials of the temple. Verse 3. Now these are the things wherein Solomon was instructed to build of the house of the Most High. The length by cubits after the first measure was 60 cubits, and the breadth 20 cubits, and the porch that was in the front of the house, the length of it was according to the breadth of the house, 20 cubits, and the height was 120, and the overlay, Slakia, and he overlaid it with pure gold, and the greater house he sealed, sealed,
Con.
sealed with fir tree, uh, which he overlaid with fine gold, and set thereon palm trees and chains. And he garnished the house with precious stones of beauty, and the gold was gold of uh, Parvam, Parvam, Vaim, Parvam. All right, verse 7. And he overlaid also the house, the beams, the posts, and the walls thereof, and the doors thereof, with gold, and graven cherubims on the walls. And he made the most set apart house. The length thereof was according to the breadth of the house, 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 20 cubits. And he overlaid it with fine gold, amounting to 600 talents. And the weight of the nails was 50 shekels of gold. And he overlaid with upper Slakia, and he overlaid the upper chamber with gold. And in the most set apart house, he made two cherubim of imagined art, of image work, and overlaid them with gold. And the wings of the cherubim were 20 cubits long. One wing of one cherubim was 5 cubits, reaching the wall of the house, and the other wing was likewise 5 cubits, reaching the wing of the other cherubim. And one wing of one cherubim was 5 cubits, reaching to the wall of the house, and the other wing was 5 cubits, also joining the wings of the other cherubim. It's like he joining the wing of the other cherubim. So he had the cherubim of the wings touching, and then the other one, the other part of it at the house at the end. Uh, that's a magnificent design.
Indeed, like I remember back when we read this not too long ago,
Hmm.
we were getting a visual of
Yeah,
what this would actually look like.
yeah. And all this, I keep imagining all this gold being overlaid on everything. Like it's not enough to put it there, but you got to put gold over it. Like man, that's magnificent. But this is the place for the Most High. So
Hmm.
all praises. Verse 13: the wings of these cherubim spread themselves forth 20 cubits, and they stood on their feet, and their faces were upward,
Oh, Salakia,
inward. So go ahead.
we were talking about all this gold,
Uh huh.
and this is something that I really attach to our people uh anyway. Like it's something that we continue to do even today. Like
Right.
gold is one of our precious metals that we sometimes it can be a stumbling block for us
Yeah.
with
Come.
just chasing after it. But mentioned that just to say uh Shimshon's his gold came from Ophir, right?
Right.
Now do we know where that's at? Because me personally, I believe that it's in I believe that it's a Kebulon, or more commonly Africa.
I would venture to say definitely. Yeah, I think it's definitely came from that area. You know, as we've read, we saw that as Dawid was conquering. When we read, I believe last week, or even some yesterday, last night, uh, he was taken. As he would as he would defeat his enemies, he would
Mhm.
take their possessions, and yeah, some of that would be for the Most High. He would put that there, but then he gave from himself. I think we read last night. He gave out of his own. Uh, I forget the amount of it, but it was a huge number. And then he presented it to the people like, I've given this, and the people start digging in, and they start giving, uh, of their own substance that they had gotten. Uh, but Ophir. So the question is, where is Ophir located? Let's Google it and see what we can find here.
I mean, we know that history books tell us that Mansa Musa, emperor of the Mali Empire, once made a pilgrimage to Mecca, and when he stopped in Mizraim, he devalued the value of gold in that land.
Hmm.
So you
Yeah,
know,
because he bought so much of it, it
mhm.
dropped the value. Yeah, he almost destroyed it. Um, Ophir. Where
We're
is?
just trying to connect the dots. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean? Continue connecting dots.
absolutely. So actually, looks like right here on this map, uh, they got it right here.
Okay.
So the thing about this map is, and maybe okay, maybe this is a okay. So this is another. This will probably be about. It was in Arabia. It's in Arabia.
Okay. All right. But you know what? I mean that doesn't surprise me either,
Hmm.
because at this time, Arabia would have been in control of it would have been in controlled by the
Arabs.
Kushites. The,
Oh, the Kush. Yeah, Kush would have been there. The Arabs were there as well.
yeah.
This was part of that land that he had given to Esau, and
But
that
but
he had
this was
taken.
Kansalaki. Go ahead. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, no, that's all I was saying.
Well, what I'm saying is I believe that this Ophir was also a trade port. You know what I mean, from this part of the world. So there would have been trade caravans coming from the western part of Kebulon over to trade with this part of Arabia. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I still feel like the gold was coming from Okebulon.
Okay,
and
okay,
and then Solomon he wouldn't have gone all the way over to West Africa, or you know what I mean, to get the gold. He would have picked it up at the nearest depot where all the
right,
gold is coming in at.
yeah, yeah. Um, it yeah, because I think they had the gold, and I think we're gonna read as to where they um where they where he's gonna create a pool to that's how he's able to overlay all this gold. So basically he's gonna create a pool where it's going to melt the gold, and it's gonna be like a pool of gold, and that's what he'll use as he continues to make these overlays. This one says his Solomon's kingdom here, but yeah, this is his empire, and Ophir is right down here, according to this map. Um, it's right here. They got Dedan here. Here's Mizraim. Here's Israel,
Mm-hmm.
Canaan, and right along this way they got Dedan right there. But when you look at this with other maps, here's Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, on down into here. Here's Ethiopia, Sudan, and Mizraim. So when you compare the two maps, or these maps here in general, yeah. So here's Jerusalem, here's Tyre. I wish we could see Lebanon, like where they're bringing this wood from. Uh, Here's the Euphrates and the Tigris. Syria's here, and yeah, this is That's kind of small. I hate to go into it because it may take me somewhere else. But yeah, let's look right here. Solomon's Ram, Arabia, Sinai, and here's Joppa. You see, I know this is small. I'm gonna open this one up. I was worried it was gonna give me something I didn't want to get into. It's not even showing me. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, okay, okay. Well, all these maps on here. Okay, as we was looking for Lebanon.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm thinking Lebanon is like right there in the Levant, in the Levant as well. I'm just not exactly sure where.
oh, here it is, right here.
Okay, Khan. Yep.
Lebanon, right there. Yeah, yeah. So we was able to find it. Trying to see if I see it anywhere else. That kind of give us a better look at it since they was bringing that. So there's Jerusalem, there's Tyre. So according to this map, it's right here, right above Sidon. So you got Tyre, right above that is Sidon, and then Lebanon. These are all port right on the Mediterranean Sea,
I'm just
right
now
there.
peeping how big they're saying King Solomon's reign was, and
Yeah, yeah, that's what this map is showing. More correct version. Kingdom of Solomon. Yeah, yeah, because David all of had won everything. So this is Solomon existed at a time where war was not even a thing.
right.
Okay, so okay, so this would be a better. So actually, I think Lebanon would be like right here, right above Sion, according to that map. According to this map, Sion is here, Lebanon is here. What is this? Babos?
Uh,
BY
Biblios.
Biblios. Okay. So when you get to this map, where you can see a little bit better, Sion, Lebanon is like here, and then Biblios is like right here. Biblios we really haven't seen, but Lebanon is where they're getting this wood from. So interesting, yeah, because he said Lebanon is not worthy to burn, uh, when he was angry. So interesting, interesting. So let's continue here. But yeah, that's probably the trade post that was coming from as they were bringing it from you know who knows everywhere or had gotten it from various places. So verse 14, and he made the veil of blue. Oh, Slakia. This is Dibre Hayamim Bête, chapter number 3 and verse number 14. And he made the veil of blue and purple and crimson and fine linen and wrought cherubims thereon. And he made before the house 2 pillars of 30 and 5 cubits high, and the chapiters that was on the top of them, Salaki, on the top of each of them was 5 cubits. I remember we looked at that chapiters before.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what it was.
I'm not. I don't remember either.
Salaki.
Man, but I mean, we've covered so much, my brother.
I know, right? We have. It's been all edifying.
Indeed.
Uh, Pleated capital pillars. So those were some pleated capital pillars.
And did we read that back in Judges?
It ironically is saying that this is the only place it is. I remember looking at that word.
Okay.
I remember
Yeah,
us looking at
indeed,
that.
we did. I want to say like nah, and it wasn't. It was recently. It was like
Yeah,
maybe about a month ago.
it was in Kings.
God,
When
that's
we
what
was
it
reading
was. Right?
when we
Yep,
was reading the
indeed.
same thing.
Yep.
You know, so I don't know why it's saying that this is the only place it is. As I remember seeing that, I was like, "What is that word?" Because it was not something that you run across every day. It looked like chapter with an I in it. Uh, and this Hebrew word, sepheth, Sepheth, Feth,
Sefeth.
Sepheth, Sepheth.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was maybe when we looked at it before, it was a different Hebrew word, but they used the same. I don't know. I remember seeing that word before because it caught my attention. It looks like chapter with an I in the middle of it. Chap Ither.
Cause I remember us saying that.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So all right. Verse 16. And he made chains as in the orc, the orc, Oracle, and put them,
Oracle.
oh Salakia, as in the oracle Salakia, and put them on the heads of the pillars, and made 100 pomegranates, and put them on the chains. And he reared up the pillars before the temple, one on the right hand and the other on the left, and called the name of that on the right hand Yachin, and the
Yakin.
Yakin, Yakin, Slakia, Yakin, Tola Hakim. And the name of that on the left, Boaz. Boaz. That's his great, long way
Con.
grandfather. All praises. Man, that's beautiful to be able to know, to go back and be able to pull your people out, know exactly where you came from.
Yeah, and
You
and
know,
Yakin is crazy because Yakin was one of his was a future king of Yehuda, Southern Kingdom.
oh, he probably was he had to been of old. Um, you think that was like some prophetic there? Slacky, we have to look back at that
Well,
name
I
now.
mean, it called Solomon a prophet.
Kai, we gotta look at that name now. We gotta look at Yakin. Yep, Yakin. He will establish. He was also a fourth son of Simeon,
Yeah,
founder
con.
of the family of the Yakinites, a priest of the head of the fourth in the 24th course of the time of Dawid, and a post something post X what is this?
Oh,
Ex,
Slakia, explicit.
explicit Salakia. A post explicit priest in the time of Nehemiah. Post oh, like the after the exile.
Con.
Okay, at the time of
I was
Nehemiah.
thinking he was a king.
Okay, con. Yeah, so
So yeah, I was wrong.
oh no sweat, no sweat. But yeah, so I wonder if he named him if he did this because of the priest, a priest and the head of the 21st course in the time of Dawid. So I wonder is that where he got that name from? Now we know where Boaz came from. That was we know who Boaz was in
Con.
the lineage of the Messiah. Um, so all praises. All right, well, let's move on. Chapter 4 and furnishing of the temple and verse 1. Uh, the name of the book here. Let me go to it. Dibre Hayamim Bête, chapter number 4, verse number 1. The furnishing of the temple. Moreover, he made an altar of brass, 20 cubits of length thereof, and 20 cubits the breadth thereof, and 10 cubits the height thereof. Also, he made a molten sea of 10 cubits of brim to brim, round in compass, and 5 cubits the height thereof, and a line of 30 cubits did compass it round about. I think I messed that up. Let me read that again. Yeah, I messed that one up. Let me read that again. Also, verse 2. Also, he made a molten sea of 10 cubits from brim to brim, round in compass, and 5 cubits in height thereof. And a line of 30 cubits did compass it round about. Maybe I didn't. I just thought I did. Okay, verse 3. Nevertheless, and and under it was a similitude of oxen, which did compass it round about, 10 in a cubit, compassing the sea round about. 2 rows of oxen were cast where it were cast, and it stood upon 12 oxen, there looking towards the north. Salakia. 3. Man, I can't believe I be doing that. Salakia, my bad. Let me start that again. And it stood upon 12 oxen, 3 looking towards the north, and 3 looking towards the west, and 3 looking towards the south, and 3 looking towards the east. And the sea was set above upon them, and all their hind parts were inward. And the thickness, it's great detail that this is written in. I mean, you can,
Indeed, indeed.
it really draws a picture. That's why I hate I'm
Mhm.
messing it up so bad. But we're gonna get through this here just a bit, just a bit. This is the last verse. Last chapter here for me. So, verse 4, verse 5, Slaki. And the thickness of it was an handbreadth, was a handbreadth, and the brim of it like the work of a brim of a cup with flowers of lilies, and it received and held 3,000 baths. And I remember we looked at that bath. I know there was a unit of measure. It,
Uh-huh.
it really didn't give us a definitive, comparison. Uh,
But I remember thinking that it was talking about a bath like how we, you know, think of a bath now.
right, right, kind of, yeah. It's the same word. Like it's not even straight up. Yeah, unit of bath, a unit of liquid measure equal to a dry ephod, about 9 imperial gallons or 40 liters. So about 9 gallons or 40 liters. That's a lot of. Did he say he give him 1,000 baths of wine?
Con.
That's a lot of doggone wine.
It seems unreal, you know.
That's a whole lot of wine. Man, yeah, they gonna be. Woo, I bet they was ready to get to. That's how you get people moving. Like I
Right.
give you a outrageous number amount of to drink. They're like, what? Let's do it.
right, right,
You want us to build it for you? We'll build it for you.
right.
Verse 6. Uh, and he made also 10 levers and put 5 on the right hand and 5 on the left to wash in them such things as they offered for the burnt offering. They washed in them. But the sea was for the priests to wash in. Verse 7. And he made 10 candlesticks of gold according to their form, and set them in the temple, 5 on the right hand and 5 on the left. And he made 10 tables and placed them in the temple, 5 on the right hand and 5 on the left. And he made 100 basins of gold. Moreover, he made the court of the priests and the great court, the door for the court, and overlaid the doors of them with brass. So I wanted to do brass. It says he overlaid it, so I'm guessing he must have had some melted brass and just put it over the door, and it covered the door, and so you had the regular door, and then it was covered in brass.
Hmm.
And I'm sure they had some kind of a like a tool to smooth it and make it so it wasn't just globbed on there. Uh, Interesting. That's very interesting to think of. Verse 10. And he set the sea on the right side of the east end, over against the south. And Huram made a pot, it's like he made the pots and the shovels and the basins. And Huram finished the work that he was to make for King Solomon for the house of the Most High, to with the two pillars and the
Pomels.
pommels. I was gonna say pommels, and the chapters. Look, it didn't even mention it again here. It was like that
Hmm.
was the only spot. Bible Hub, Blue Letter, y'all need to get it right, man.
Right.
Y'all tripping. It's mentioned twice in this verse. Like I know I saw that somewhere besides just y'all ain't fooling nobody. Salaki. And the chapters that were at the top of the two pillars, and the two reefs that covered the two pommels of the chapters, which were on the top of the pillars, and 400 pomegranates, and on the two reefs, two rows of pomegranates on each reef, to cover the two pommels of the chapters, which were upon the pillars. He made also brasses and levers, made he upon uh, bases, one sea, and 12 oxen under it, and pots also, and the shovels, and the flesh hooks, and all their instruments. And Huram, his father, made the king Solomon, Slakia, did Huram, his father, make to King Solomon for the house of Yahuwah a bright brass, of bright brass, Slakia. So he made Huram, his father, that he is there. We're talking about, gotta go all the way back to Huram. Okay, so let me read that again. Verse 16. The pots also, and the shovels, and the flesh hooks, and all their instruments, did Huram, his father, make to King Solomon, and for the house of Yahuwah of bright brass. So when it says Huram, his father, I guess his son name was Huram as well.
Uh, the parts also the trouble.
His-
Hiram, his father. Hiram is the father. I'm trying to think what this other guy what his name is though.
I think it was Huram, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken, but because that's all we've been talking about is Huram
Yeah, Khan,
in this
Khan.
past couple. Yeah, because he was the one. Remember, he said, "I sent you." His mother was from Dan,
Uh huh.
and uh, and he's of Tyre, a man of Tyre.
Uh huh.
His father's a man of Tyre,
Yeah, Khan.
and yeah,
I mean,
so
and we've seen and heard that before, where some son is named after his father.
right, right, yeah. Not as common in Israel,
Right,
but
exactly.
usually it's somebody else rather than name them after yourself. Uh, right. Okay. So we at verse 17. All right. In the plain of Jordan did the king cast them in the clay ground between Sukkot and Zeradatha. Zeradatha. Thah.
Zerodata. Yeah, Khan.
Zeradatha. All
Zerodata.
praise.
Yep.
Hallelujah.
Khan.
All praises. Hallelujah. Okay. Verse 18. Thus Solomon made all these vessels in great abundance for the weight of the brass could not be found out. And Solomon made all these vessels that were for the house of the Most High, the golden altar also, and the tables whereon the shewbread was set. Moreover, the candlesticks with their lamps, that they should burn after the manner before the oracle of pure gold, and the flowers, and the lamps, and the tongues, made he gold, Slaki, made he of gold, and they and that perfect gold. He made them of gold, and it was that perfect gold. Verse
Mm-hmm.
20, verse 22. And the snuffers, and the basins, and the spoons, and the censers of pure gold, and the entry of the house, the indoors thereof, of the most set apart place, and the doors of the house of the temple were of gold. So yeah, he definitely putting it in our minds and our hearts to understand that this was not like anything you'd ever seen before. Like this thing is laid and decked. We talked about you talked about in you think about Yirmiyahu, where he talked about these idols being decked with silver and gold, and uh, this house was laid with gold. I mean, gold in so many different places. It's amazing to look at because yeah, that much gold. I mean, enough to plate to lay over a what we did we see the walls earlier were laid with gold. I know we read just a bit that that door was of was it brass or yeah
Brass, con,
yeah
con.
that was brass. But man, yeah, this place is like he said this doorway. Let me go back one real quick at the very end. He said the doorway uh, or the doors of the house of the temple were of gold. So I mean, he put not only the snuffers. Let's see what those snuffers are. I don't recall what that was. Mur and Murrah. Mur and Murrah. Temple utensils. Yeah, I think I remember us looking at that too.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, so the temple utensils were gold. The basins were gold. Spoons, the censers of pure gold. The entry of the house and the inner doors thereof of the most set apart places of the doors of the house and the temple were of gold. So it didn't even say he laid them over with gold. He said they were of gold. Wow. Yeah, that's a different looking structure than anything else you'd ever seen before.
Indeed.
Yeah, kind. And that was in Israel. That was in Jerusalem. That wasn't even in that's not in we're not reading about Dubai. We're
Right.
not, Dubai try to emulate,
They
but
got it from us, all
right,
right?
exactly. 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 Yeah, kind. All right. We got these last couple of chapters, Doc. You want to knock these on out if you don't mind?
Indeed, I.
So that would buy.
Mhm. This is the book of Dibre Hayamim Bête, chapter 5. The ark is brought into the temple, verse 1. Thus all the work that Shlomo made up for the house of Yahweh was finished. And Shlomo brought in all the things that Dawid his father had dedicated, and the silver, and the gold, and all the instruments, put he among the treasurers of the house of the Most High. Then Shlomo assembled the elders of Israel, and all the heads of the tribes, and the chiefs of the fathers of the children of Israel unto Jerusalem, to bring up the ark of the covenant of Yahweh out of the city of Dawid, which is Zion. Wherefore all the men of Israel assembled themselves unto the king in the feast, which was in the 7th month. That's Sukkot.
Con.
All right. Verse 4. And all the elders of Israel came, and the Levites took up the ark, and they brought up the ark, and the tabernacle of the congregation, and all the set apart vessels that were in the tabernacle. These did the priests and the Levites bring up. And also King Shlomo and all the congregation of Israel that were assembled unto him before the ark sacrificed sheep and oxen, which could not be told nor numbered for multitude.
Wow.
Yep.
We
And the,
read, Salaki, we read where he had just did 1,000 at the tabernacle, the congregation.
uh-huh.
Uh, yeah, that was actually a couple of different thousand because it listed what some rams, some uh, I'm trying to remember off my head, but I can't remember it right off. But
Rams, ox,
I think it was like three different animals,
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that he offered sacrifice to. So that was like 3,000. And this one you can't even number. Like they was just, and where all these animals come from?
Right, right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Like wow. Well, look, we so far beyond the flood at this point. You know, so these animals have just had been repopulating, obviously in great abundance. And so yeah, you can just grab them and make sacrifice to the Most High with you know amazing numbers. So
Mm-hmm. All right, verse 7. And the priest brought up in the ark of the covenant of Yahweh unto his place, to the oracle of the house, and to the most set apart place, even under the wings of the cherubims. For the cherubims spread forth their wings over the place of the ark, and the cherubim covered the ark and the staves thereof above. And they drew out the staves of the ark, that the ends of the staves were seen from the ark before the oracle, but they were not seen without. And there it is unto this day. There was nothing in the ark save the two tables which Moshe put therein at Horeb, when Yahweh made the covenant with the children of Israel when they came out of Mizraim. And that Horeb, anybody who hadn't been following us and
mm,
might just be new,
right,
that Horeb is just another name for Sinai.
kind, yes indeed,
Yep.
yes
Uh,
indeed.
the glory of at the Most High fills the temple. Verse
Mm,
11. And it came to pass when the priests were come out of the set apart place, for all the priests that were present were sanctified, and did not, Slakia, and did not then wait by the course. Also the Levites, which were the singers, all of them of Asaph, of Heman, Jehudathan, with their sons and their brethren, being arrayed in white linen, having cymbals and psalteries and harps, stood at the east end of the altar, and with them 120 priests sounding with trumpets. So this is a band.
right, orchestra more like it.
Exhort, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yes
exactly.
indeed.
All right. Verse 13. It came even to pass, as the trumpeters and singers were as one, to make one sound to be heard in praising and thanking Yahweh. And when they lifted up their voice with the trumpets and cymbals and instruments of music, and praised Yahweh, saying, For he is good, for his mercy endureth forever, that then the house was filled with a cloud, even the house of Yahweh, so that the priests could not stand to minister by reason of the cloud, for the glory of Yahweh had filled the house of the Most High.
Oh,
Hallelujah.
praises, man, that is beautiful. You know, and while we was reading that just then, I had a thought that I hadn't had before, and it takes us back here in verse 12. It says, also the Levites, which are the singers. So it just dawned on me like the Levites were the ones doing the singing. But isn't it ironic because Yehuda supposed to be the praises.
Con, I've never thought about that.
Yeah, it just dawned on me right when we was right when you read that part.
But
I was like,
that's same mama, same daddy.
yeah, yeah, kind. So yeah, definitely sharing abilities and talents in that in that gene line. So yes indeed. So I just scratch your head there.
Shut right. All right. This is the book of Dibre Hayamim Bet, chapter 6, Shlomo's dedication, verse 1. Then said Shlomo, Yahweh have said that he would dwell in the thick darkness, but I have built a house of habitation for him, and a place for thy dwelling forever. And the king turned his face and blessed the whole congregation of Israel. And all the congregation of Israel stood. And he said, Blessed be Yahweh, power of Israel, who hath with his hands fulfilled that which he spake with his mouth to my father Dawid, saying, Since the day that I brought forth my people out of the land of Mizraim, I chose no city among all the tribes of Israel to build a house in, that my name might be there. Neither chose I any man to be a ruler over my people Israel, but I have chosen Jerusalem, that my name might be there, and have chosen Dawid to be over my people Israel. Now, it was in the heart of Dawid, my father, to build a house for the name of Yahweh, power of Israel. But Yahweh said to Dawid, my father, For as much as it was in thine heart to build a house for my name, thou didst well in that it was in thine heart. Notwithstanding, thou shalt not build the house, but thy son, which shall come forth out of thy loins, he shall build the house for my name. Yahweh therefore hath performed his word that he hath spoken. For I am risen up in the room of Dawid my father, and I am set on the throne of Israel, as Yahweh promised, and have built the house for the name of Yahweh, power of Israel. And in it I have put the ark, wherein is the covenant of Yahweh that he made with the children of Israel. Shlomo's prayer of dedication, verse 12. And he stood before the altar of Yahweh in the presence of all the congregation of Israel, and spread forth his hands. For Shlomo had made a brazen scaffold of 5 cubits long, and 5 cubits broad, and 3 cubits high, and had set it in the midst of the court. And upon it he stood, and kneeled down upon his knees before all the congregation of Israel, and spread forth his hands toward Shemaims, and said, O Yahweh, power of Israel, there is no power like thee in the Shemaim, nor in the earth, which keepeth covenant and showeth mercy unto thy servants that walk before thee with all their hearts. Thou which hast kept with thy servant Dawid, my father, that which was promised him, and spakest with thy mouth, and hast fulfilled it with thine hand, as it is this day. Now, therefore, O Yahweh, power of Israel, keep with thy servant Dawid, my father, that which thou hast promised him, saying, There shall not fail thee a man in the sight to sit upon the throne of Israel. Yet so that thy children take heed to their way to walk in my law, as thou hast walked before me. Now then, O Yahweh, power of Israel, let thy word be verified, which thou hast spoken unto thy servant Dawid. But will the Most High in very deed dwell with men on the earth? Behold, the Shemaim and the Shemaim of Shemaims cannot contain thee. How much less this house which I have built? Have respect, therefore, to the prayer of thy servant, and to his supplication, O Yahweh, my power, to hearken unto the cry and to the prayer which thy servant prayeth before thee, that thine eyes may be open unto this house day and night, upon the place whereof thou hast said that thou wouldest put thy name there. to hearken unto the prayer which thy servant prayeth toward this place. Hearken therefore unto the supplication of thy servant and of thy people Israel, which they shall make toward this place. Hear thou from thy dwelling place, even from the Shemaim, and when thou hearest, forgive. If a man sin against his neighbor, and an oath be laid upon him to make him swear, and the oath come before thine altar in this house, then hear thou from Shemaim, and do, and judge thy servant by requiting the wicked, by recompensing his way upon his own head, and by justifying the righteous, by giving him according to his righteousness. And if thy people Israel be put to the worst before the enemy, because they have sinned against thee, and shall return and confess thy name, and pray and make supplication before thee in this house, then hear thou from the Shemaim, and forgive the sin of thy people Israel, and bring them again into the land which thou gavest to them and to their fathers. So it's
Mhm.
speaking to us.
Right.
Speaking to a few different generations, but definitely to us as well in this
Mhm.
captivity here.
Kind, yeah. All those ones that would be carried off and then would have to come back, even to the Northern Kingdom, where they would be eventually carried off and not returned. Um, yeah, that's uh, that's a powerful prayer. I mean, most
Indeed,
powerful because, whew, yeah, he's going prophetic in this prayer. Like the people listening to this, like, did you realize what you prayed?
right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Like, come on,
Yep.
my goodness.
All right. Verse 26.
Mhm.
When the Shemaim is shut up, and there is no rain, because they have sinned against you, yet if they pray toward this place, and confess thy name, and turn from their sin, when thou doest afflict them, then hear thou from the Shemaim, and forgive the sin of thy servants and of thy people Israel, when thou hast taught them the good way wherein they should walk, and send rain upon thy land, which thou hast given unto thy people for an inheritance. If there be dearth in the land, if there be pestilence, if there be blasting, or mildew, locusts, or caterpillars, if there be enemies besiege them in the cities of their land, whatsoever sore or whatsoever sickness there be, then what prayer or what supplication soever shall be made of any man or of all thy people Israel, whenever one shall know his own sore and his own grief, and shall spread forth his hand in this house, then hear thou from Shemaim thy dwelling place, and forgive, and render unto every man according to all his ways, whose heart thou knowest. For thou only knowest the hearts of the children of men. Slacky, I read that wrong. For thou only knowest the hearts of the children of men, that they may fear thee, to walk in thy ways, so as long as they live in the land which thou gavest unto our fathers. Moreover, Slack, you have something?
No, no, no. I'm just
Okay,
reading along with you.
okay. Verse 32. Moreover, concerning the stranger, which is not of thy people Israel, but is come from a far country for thy great name's sake, for thy mighty hand and thy stretched out arm, if they come and pray in this house, then hear thou from the Shemaims, even from thy dwelling place, and do according to all that the stranger calleth to thee for, that all the people of the earth may know thy name and fear thee, as do thy people Israel, and may know that this house which I have built is called by thy name. If thy people go out to war against their enemies by the way that thou shalt send them, and they pray unto thee toward this city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name, then hear thou from the Shemaims their prayer and their supplication, and maintain their cause. If they sin against thee, but there is no man which sinneth, Slakia. For there is no man which sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them over before their enemies, and they be carried them away captives into a land far off or near. Wake up, Jacob. This is
Right.
speaking to you.
Yes, indeed.
Verse 37. Yet, if they bethink themselves in the land whither they are carried captive, and turn and pray unto thee in the land of their captivity, saying, we have sinned, we have done amiss, and have dealt wickedly, and if they return to thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their captivity, whither they have carried them captives, and pray toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, and toward the city which thou hast chosen, and toward the house which I have built for thy name, then hear thou from the Shemaims, even from thy dwelling place, their prayer and their supplication, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people which have sinned against thee.
Oh,
Now,
Salaki right there, real quick. Hold on, real quick. All right.
okay,
Whew, that is some heavy.
man,
That is.
indeed,
Oh man, that is some heavy uh information. Uh, praise to the Father for this. Wow. Whew.
hmm
Yeah, I gotta catch my breath on that one. Before we go back and unpack a little bit of that. Just a little bit, Salakia. I'm about to clip that and post it because yeah, that is
powerful, powerful prayer.
yes, yes. Yes, I've shared this before, but I didn't have near the understanding of it as I do as we're reading here. Second Chronicles chapter 6, Dibre Hayamim Bête. That started at the place 36. Yeah, 36 through 39. Uh, if they sin against you, for there is no man that sin not, and you
hmm
be angry with them, and deliver them over before their enemies, and they carry them away captive unto a land far or near. Yet if they bethink themselves in the land whether they are carried captive, and turn and pray unto you from the land of their captivity, saying, we have sinned, we have done amiss, and have dealt wickedly. If they return to you with all of their heart and with all of their soul in the land of their captivity, whether they were carried them, whether they carried them captive, and pray towards this land which you gave unto their fathers, and towards the city which you have chosen, and towards the house which I have built for your name, then hear you from Shamaim, even from your dwelling place, their prayers and their supplication, and maintain their cause, and forgive your people which have sinned against you. Oh man, that is so phenomenal, so so deep, and
Indeed.
so us,
Yep, indeed.
so us. I mean, we have thus saith my gracious. I had to post that one. Okay, okay, let's continue. Whew. Yeah, that took my goodness. Okay, let's continue.
All right. All
Whew.
right, verse 40. Now, my power, let, I beseech thee, thine eyes be open, and let thine ears be attent unto the prayer that is made in this place. Now, therefore, arise, O Yahweh, power, into the resting place, thou and the ark of thy strength. Let thy priests, O Yahweh, power, be clothed with salvation. and let thy saints rejoice in goodness. O Yahweh power, turn not away the face of thine anointed. Remember thee, Slaki. Remember the mercies of Dawid, thy servant.
Oh,
Hallelujah.
praise, hallelujah. Yes, indeed, man. That was whew. Yeah, I remember. I remember seeing that like early in the truth because I remember I was talking to this brother who was my same age. He was a pastor of a Christian church. It was a multicultural church,
Mm-hmm.
and I told him we was the children of Israel. I think he was actually I think he was the son of a stranger. He just had a mother who would have been um, a product of the slave trade, but I think his father was another nation because he was not trying to deal with it
Mm-hmm.
at all. But man, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That was whew, yeah. And I remember I hit him with that, and I forgot what he said, but it was some time ago. So anyway, all praises. I'm glad we read that one again because that is did it say that in Kings as well? You
Uh,
recall?
I want to say it did. I
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I remember getting it in Chronicles, but because this is First King 8. Matter of fact, let's go back. Let's go back real quick here. We'll finish this last chapter.
And I don't think we read it in First Chronicles. I think it was Kings. Yeah,
Oh,
Kings. Where we read it.
that's a Chronicles, Salakia.
Yeah, Con.
My bad, my bad. Yeah, yeah. First Kings 8:22 through 53. So, let's see. Can we see that? Let's see. I like how they put this little tool in here. Just trying to see if say before. Yeah, respect, prayer, the servant, supplication. Ah, I knew I was gonna do that. It took me all the way out. No sweat, no sweat. We'll go. I'll go back and look at it at a later time. I was just curious about it. Yeah, I remember in Kings, this Kings, chapter 8, going all the way to 66, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they got some long chapters in that book. But all right, let's go ahead and finish this one on out, and let's wrap
Indeed.
it up. Yeah.
All right. This is the book of Dibre Hayamim Bête. Second Chronicles, chapter 7, the Shekinah glory, verse 1. Now, when Shlomo had made an end of praying, the fire came down from Shemaim and consumed the burnt offering and the sacrifices, and the glory of Yahweh filled the house. And the priests could not enter into the house of Yahweh because the glory of Yahweh had filled the house of Yahweh.
Slakia, Slakia. I think that's it. I believe that's it. Let me see here. Uh,
The glory of
uh, let's see what that glory is.
Kabo,
Uh,
Kabo, Kabo. Yep.
oh, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
glory.
Okay, and then field, La Mela, the house, Bethia. I was looking for Shekinah.
Oh, you know what? Go up to your oh, you know what? I can do it. Let me see. And it's SHE.
Oh, let's go to Bible Hub. Let me get Bible Hub because I know we can do it there.
You know what it says? Maybe I spelled it wrong.
You're gonna search it by the
Oh yeah, I did spell it wrong. It's
Second Chronicles chapter
K
7.
I N A H. Uh,
That
okay,
was
so
verse.
it doesn't show up, but that's because it's a Hebrew word. So, like, we got to find the English word.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for on this. Let's go to what is it? The uh interlinear. Okay. And he finished. I'm looking for Shekinah.
That's for me too.
Khan Kalal.
I don't see it anywhere else,
Uh,
bro.
yeah. Huh. Yeah, I thought it would be like that field, but that's male. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's oh, you know what it is? It should be
Was
the presence. Yeah, presence. So wherever that word presence.
presence. Okay. Temple field. And he finished praying. And when he finished praying, Solomon praying, uh, and when he finished praying, and fire came down from Shamaim and consumed the burnt offering and sacrifice, and the esteem of Yahweh filled the temple. I don't see it on here.
Yeah, I didn't see presence on there either.
Yeah.
Uh
It says, I mean, filled, the esteem of Yahweh filled. Let's look at second verse here. Maybe we look over something. And the presence, and not could the priest enter into the house of Yahweh because the glory had filled. It's using glory. It's not
right.
using presence here. So I don't know where they got this Yahweh house. Yahweh. Huh. I don't know where they got that Shekinah from.
Shekinah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, because
gonna have to look that up or something.
that's really what I'm looking for on this here here, let me get it real quick. I'm gonna search it on we'll search it on Bible Hub and see if I can find it there. If it's anything in it that says Shekinah. Curious. See, and it goes into okay, hold on. Uh See they got it for glory right here, but I don't think they got used that particular word. No, it's K A kabod. Kabod. Uh that's as glory. But they got Shekinah right here. Look at this. Talmud.
Right, that's what I saw that as well.
Wow.
So I wonder if that's but no, that's a different word, I think. No, it's the same word. It's the same word.
Yeah, Shekinah glory is what I Shekinah glory is what I search. Let me take the glory out and just put the see if it does anything different. Oh, it went to this one thing. And this is showing Greek. Why is that a Greek word?
So it's almost like this is one of those new block words
Yeah, I'm wondering about that. I
because
wonder.
it would have a Hebrew number.
Right, right. Yeah, it's I wonder if it's a Greek word.
Hmm.
I wonder if it's really Greek. Uh, cause it's giving us all this stuff here. You know what I'm saying? We Strong's 31, G 3191, Doxa,
Mm-hmm.
however that is. And right there, it brought us back to that Targumet and Talmud. But that's Hebrew right here. And then it got Shekinah right here. Or, let me search this word. I'm going to search this real quick. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I'm just curious. Like, maybe we can find it if it's in there. Right here, it's talking about Greek again. Revelation 21:24. Psalms 88:16. Let's try that. Let's see what that say. Let's see what that take us. Let's try Psalms 88:16. Let's see real quick. If it's in here, I want to see it. Here it is. Psalms 88:16. Swept over me. The terror destroyed me. So let's go to interlinear. I don't see it. Over me, overlay, and has gone a brute, your fierce wrath, her, hero, hero, naka, and your terror by utaka
Mm-hmm.
have cut me off. Shimmy to na or ni. Shimmy to ni. Yeah, I don't see it in here. I don't think it's something that we should even be dealing with because I don't
And
see it.
Con.
I don't see it in here. So if I could, I'd put a line straight through that. All
Mm-hmm.
right, Salaki, let's move on. 'Cause, we spent enough time dealing with that to find that it's not in here. So,
Indeed, Doc. Indeed.
kind
Let's see. Verse
two.
3, I believe, or is it
Oh,
2?
yeah, because we stopped at one. To I
Okay.
read two, but we can run over it real quick.
Indeed, and the priests could not enter into the house of Yahweh because the glory of Yahweh had filled Yahweh's house. And when all the children of Israel saw how the fire came down and the glory of Yahweh upon the house, they bowed themselves with their faces to the ground upon the pavement and worshipped and praised Yahweh, saying, "For he is good, for his mercy endureth forever."
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah.
Praise Yah. Indeed,
All right. Sacrifices offered.
more
Verse
sacrifice.
4. Then the king and all the people offered sacrifices before Yahweh. And the king and King Shlomo offered a sacrifice of 22,000 oxen and
Mm,
120,000 sheep.
mm,
So the king and all the people dedicated the house of the Most High. And the priests waited on their offices, the Levites also with instruments of music of Yahweh, which Dawid the king had made to praise Yahweh, because his mercy endured forever. When Dawid praised by their ministry, and the priests sounded trumpets before them, and all Israel stood. Moreover, Shlomo hallowed the middle of the court that was before the house of Yahweh, for there he offered burnt offerings and the fat of the peace offerings, because the brazen altar which Shlomo had made was not able to receive the burnt offerings and the meat offerings and the fat. Feast of dedication.
mm,
Verse 8. Also, at the same time, Shlomo kept the feast 7 days, and all Israel with him, a very great congregation from the entering in of Hamath unto the river of Mizraim. And in the 8th day they made a solemn assembly, for they kept the dedication of the altar 7 days, and the feast 7 days. And on the 23rd day of the 7th month, he sent the people away in their tents, into their tents, glad and merry in heart, for the goodness that Yahweh had showed unto Dawid and to Shlomo and to Israel, his people. The most,
Slack, yeah.
I'll read out.
Did we read this during
Yeah,
we did,
indeed,
oh,
yep.
okay, okay.
It was uh it was during the feast of dedication when he dedicated the temple.
Okay, okay. it seemed like I vaguely kind of remember, but
Mm-hmm.
I know we'd read in the Apocrypha. We were looking for it in the Apocrypha, but yeah, I think we do remember us coming to Chronicles here. Now that I think about it, to what last month?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, kind. Okay, okay. So, all
All
right.
right. The Most High's promise and warning. Verse 11. Thus Shlomo finished the house of Yahweh and the king's house, and all that came into Shlomo's heart to make in the house of Yahweh and in his own house. He prosperously effected. Verse 12. And Yahweh appeared to Shlomo by night and said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and have chosen this place to myself for a house of sacrifice. If I shut up Shemaim, that there is no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from Shemaim and will forgive their sin and will hear their land.
Mm,
So who are these people that are called by his name? You
mm-hmm.
know, Shlomo, Dawid, Yakin,
Kind.
Ezekiel, Ezekiah, Yahu,
Mm-hmm.
Kenaniah,
Right. Right.
these names, Kenya,
Right.
uh, you know, Benaiah,
Right.
uh,
Kind.
uh, Yahshua, you
Uh-huh.
know,
It's it's
Aharon,
it's 1,000 of them, Mike.
right?
It's more than 1,000. Honestly, it's yeah, it's thousands of them. I should say. Yeah, I mean, we read them in we all those names we read in the Chronicles. Most all of them, just man, just great abundance of names going directly to linking directly to the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Um, man, yeah, just from I'm trying to think. Shem, I don't think that necessarily links directly to him, but you go from Shem to Eber to Abram. I don't remember. Did we get what Abram meant
Um,
before it was
well,
changed?
is I've always heard it broke down like I don't remember. No, I'm sure we looked Abram, but I want to say I've always heard father AB that Abram is AB is a root of Abba. Uh,
Okay. I don't think we did look at that one, but that'll be something we can look back. We can look
yeah,
at
Con.
at a time. Yeah, we'll finish this for now. We'll go back and look at that one. That'll be interesting to see what it
Mm-hmm.
was before he changed it. But yeah, Abba, that is sensible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, verse 15. Now mine eyes shall be open, and mine ears attent unto the prayer that is made in this place. For now have I chosen and sacrificed this house, or sanctified this house, that my name may be there forever, and mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually. And as for thee, if thou wilt walk before me, as Dawid thy father walked, and do according to all that I have commanded thee, and shall observe my statutes and my judgments, then will I establish the throne of thy kingdom, according as I have covenanted with Dawid thy father, saying, There shall not fail thee a man to be ruler in Israel. But if ye turn away and forsake my statutes and my commandments, which I have set before you, and shall go and serve other deities and worship them, then will I pluck them up out by the roots of my land, which I have given them, and this house, which I have sanctified for my name, will I cast out of my sight, and will make it to be a proverb and a byword among all nations.
Mm,
Prophecy.
right.
All right, verse 21. And this house, which is high, shall be an astonishment to everyone that passeth by it, so that he shall say, why hath Yahweh done thus unto this land and unto this house? And I shall be, and it shall be answered, because they forsook Yahweh, power of their fathers, which brought them forth out of the land of Mizraim, and laid hold on other deities, and worshipped them, and served them. Before, therefore, hath he brought all this evil upon them. God have
Kind
mercy.
man. Oh man.
And you
I
know,
need the
it's
clip.
funny because that last verse right there, with the one where it says uh the proverb. This is what the Arabs directly said
Mm-hmm.
to told the Europeans. These
Mm-hmm.
are people who are cursed by their. They said God, but
Mm-hmm.
these people are cursed by their God.
Mm-hmm.
So this has followed us, and the Most High's words have reigned true.
Right. If it not return to him void.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Man, this is this has been dropped. That was my phone. I just dropped there. This has been a phenomenal uh, few chapters here. And oh, look like we got a comment. Let me see. Oh, Shabbat Shalom to uh, the Dana.
Okay, Don. Yeah.
Dana, yeah.
Yeah, brother up in Ohio. Yeah.
It's a yeah, yeah. I didn't even realize he had hit us up. That was 3:43. Wow, that was right when we got on. My
Mm-hmm.
goodness, I didn't even realize that. Shabbat shalom to the Ike. Just appreciate you popping in on us and getting some, a little bit of this edification. Sorry for the tough time I brought in this evening, but call halal Yahuwah Bahashem Yahushua Hamashiach. Nevertheless, so but kind. But yeah, this was some. I gotta clip that too and put that in here. Uh, let me see. Then I establish a throne. But if you but if you turn away and forsake my statutes and my commandments, which I set before you, and shall go and serve other deities and worship them, then will I pluck you up by the root. Look what he said right here. All right. He said, let me hold on, let me go back. Let me share here. Slaki. Let me put this back. As I realized what he said right here in verse 20. He said, then will I pluck them up by the root. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh, okay,
It,
okay.
it flashed and did something funny, but
Oh, okay. Con. Well, thankfully we at the very end. But verse 20, he said, then when I pluck them up by the root, by the roots out of my land, which I have given them, in this house which I have sanctified for my name, will I cast out of my sight. He said, I'm gonna pluck them up uh, by the roots. Then when I pluck them up by the roots out of my land, that was man, that was forceful. When
mm-hmm,
when I heard you read that, like I will pluck them up by the roots out of my land. This is my land. I'm just letting you stay here.
mm-hmm.
So don't get it twisted, Israel, because your butt will be up out of here. And look where we at right now. Uh, should I answer because you forsook? Yeah, Let me put that on as well. Uh, praises to the Father, man. This is yeah, this was a great bunch of reading here information, and ironically, I know we've seen this in Kings, but yeah, it's seems like the more you build it, the more the more you build up on it, the deeper it seems to get. So, man, phenomenal. All praises to the Father. Um, let's go into final thoughts here, and we'll put a nice bow on this thing and wrap it on up. These 7 chapters we went over today. You want to go ahead and start it out?
Con, more of a recount of content that we've previously read. It's good to cover some of these stories a second time, and really not even a second time. I pray that this is not the last time that I'm able to cover some of these readings that we've covered, but just more history about our ancestors and their relationship with the Most High Power.
Kind, indeed. Yeah, man, just miraculous to see all that has been said. That he would appear to Slomo at by night and
Mm-hmm.
basically warn him or almost threaten him. Like, look here, man,
Uh-huh.
you go off, it's gonna be bad for you. It's gonna be real bad for you and your people. So just know, you do what you're supposed to do. I got you. But when if you go off, I'm gonna handle you, and it's not gonna be it's not gonna be good. You're not gonna be having Levites singing songs to me. You're gonna have your people crying to me, and I ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna hear you because you're gonna go way off, way far off. I keep getting these fruit flies. That's why you see me. Oh, you can't even see it, but I'm swiping my hand there. But anyhow, but yeah, that's exactly what we endured and where we are at this point in time, and it's thick. It's rather heavy, to have gone through and lived uh, this thing with precision, as it states in the text. This is what we have done. So uh, praises to the Father, because He didn't lie to us,
Mm-hmm.
and as hard as it is to swallow it, we can at least say, hey, He didn't lie to us.
Mm-hmm.
He kept His
I mean,
word.
and indeed, it's encouraging to know because we know that He also has good plans for us in the end.
Exactly. Exactly. If he's going to deliver on the evil that he'll put on us for us going off, guess what else he going to deliver on? When we turn our hearts back to him, and I don't know, maybe we're waiting for the elect to be sealed. Maybe we're waiting for the seal to the 144. Maybe that's what we're waiting for. I don't know. It's his plan, and whatever comes about will be his esteem and his glory. But whatever we're waiting for, his word is not going to return to him void. It's not going to fall to the ground. Not one thing that he said is going to fall to the ground. It's going to all come to fruition. Because the fact that we here, that I'm sitting with my feet and my behind in uh in where are we at, Jeffersonville, Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
uh states emphatically that we will be returned to our land,
That's
and
right.
we absolutely will be put back to the place that the Most High have set forth for us to be. And I'm gonna have to do that lesson, uh, that one that I was telling you about the fire. I'm gonna have to do that one.
Okay, con,
Uh,
con.
yeah, because now it's we at a place now where that need to be brought out, because people not really understanding. When I was on Clubhouse yesterday, some brothers was talking, and they was like they were taking it as something that it wasn't. They were taking it as a physical thing, and it wasn't the physical. It was physical, but it wasn't what they was making it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to do that lesson out, and I got to get some more intel on that one. But yeah, that lesson going to come forth. So all praises to Ha'aba, man. It's beautiful. Kal halal Yahuwah Bahashem Yahushua Hamashiach. You got anything else to add on?
Now, all praises to the Most High for yet another edifying and blessed Shabbaton,
Hallelujah.
Shabbat Yom.
Shabbat Yom. Hallelujah. Another Sabbath Yom. Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom to the Mishpachah. Shabbat Shalom to any and everybody who peeped in on us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, everywhere that this text that this is shared. Shabbat Shalom. Pray that you had a wonderful Sabbath Yom on this day. And we're going to close it out with the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Always remember that the conclusion of the whole matter is to fear the Most High and keep his commandments, because this is the entire duty of man.
Mhm.
You know, I like to say it 3 times. So always remember to fear the Most High. The conclusion of the matter is to fear the Most High and keep his commandments. Why? Because this is the entire reason that mankind was made to exist,
That's
to
right.
fear the Most High and keep his commandments. With that, all praises to the Father. With that, I'm your Akazaki Yahoo, joined by my most esteemed Kenaniah. We give all praise, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah, Bahashem, Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say Shalom Wabarukim, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day that the Most High brings us back together and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High Power, under one covenant. Until that day, Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom, Mishpachah.
Hallelujah. Kor halal Yahuwah Bahashem